Hello again. In this video, I'm going to show you how to design this button animation. So, if I hover over my button, as you can see, I have this background blur animation playing over and over in the background. Then if I press, I have this border laser light effect around my button, and then if I release it will stay the same. Then if I mouse over it will go back to its default. Alright, so let's get started. So this tutorial has 3 components that we need to create. So I'm gonna start with the border animation. So this border animation loop, it is a single component, and also this gradient blur, it's another component, and then the last component, it is a combination of the button and the effects component, which is the border and the background. Alright, now let me start by creating a new rectangle. It will be 200 by 44. I'm gonna add a stroke of 3. Let's give it 3 pixel stroke. Remove the fill and 25 radius. Alright, next let's give it a basic linear color. Let's pick purple, and let's add another one in the middle, and the last one I'm gonna decrease it to 0. This will be a dark zoom in so you can see, and the first one will be a bright color, something like that. Alright, let's transform it to component, create a new variant. In the second variant I'm gonna just move my linear background. I'm gonna move the linear background to the left. Alright, and I'm gonna add a third variant. Also select the rectangle, stroke, and move around the gradient, something like that, and create a fourth one. Select the rectangle, stroke, move it to the left and center. Alright, now I'm gonna connect those 4 variants. I'm gonna use after delay 1 millisecond smart animate. So after delay be all the same configuration. After delay, make sure this is 1 millisecond. Also connect the last one with the first one to create an infinite loop. After delay 1 millisecond. So the animation will be on and on turning. So let's create a new frame and drop our component. Let's hit the preview. Let's see how it works. Alright, as you can see, it's a little bit fast. Let me slow it down. Here I'm gonna double it 600 milliseconds. Let's see again. Alright, I think it will do the job. You can play with the animation settings and the gradient to get the effect you desire. Now let's remove this frame. Let's rename this border light. And next I want to create the second effect, which is this blur animation. So I'm gonna pick, this will be simple, pick one circle, and let's give it a linear gradient. Alright, and let's duplicate it, select the two, add new blur effect, layer blur, and let's increase the blur to, let's say it's 50, 60. Alright, let's make them close to each other. create component and add a new variant. Let me 3 variants. Because my blur is spreading, I need some space. Make sure I have enough space between each variant. So, alright. Now I'm gonna change the position or switch the position of each circle like that, and maybe line them something like that. And also here, you can play with the positioning and get the effect you want. I think that will do. Let's go to prototype and apply the same setting as we did here. So the first one with the second one, after delay, smart animate 600 and 1 millisecond delay, 1 millisecond. And alright, again the last one with the first one to create an infinite loop, 1 millisecond, 600. Alright, this is the background blur, and let's create a new frame to test our background. Alright, let's drop this, and in theory we see it moving around. Alright, as you can see, yeah, it's a little bit fast. Let's double this to 1200. Let's go back. Yeah, great. Let's see here as an example. Yes, let me actually increase distance, so we'll have the blur moving around my bottom. Yes, once I will incorporate it in my bottom, you will see the effect. Alright, now let's go and create our select frame, and let's go to the design tab, 244, 25 pixel radius, and for the fill I will pick a blur grayish color, rename it button. Let's go and pick the text tool and add my text, center 16 pixels, medium. And also I'm gonna grab an icon from Iconify. Let's change the icon size, I keep it at 24 by 24, change its color to white. Right now let's transform this to auto layout and center, increase the size to 200 pixels by 44. Alright, and I'm gonna maybe change the white color to a light gray, something like that. And then let's create a new component and then add a variant. And from here I'm gonna add a glow drop shadow. Gonna pick bright color, gonna decrease its opacity to 50 and make it spread 20, make the blur 20 and 0 y 0x, and I think this will do. Next, let's go and add my background blur, and also let's, my background blur, let's hit this absolute position and move the layer to the top so it will be in the background. Hit the K key and resize it. Or maybe it's a little bit bright. Let's give it for layer opacity 50%, and also change the color of the text and the icon to a bright white. Alright, let's move and create a new variant. And for this variant, I'm gonna add my border light, also absolute position, and position it on the top of my component. Alright, and also I'm gonna add a last variant. I can change the maybe I will change, go back here to my borders and select all the variants, rectangles, and decrease the border to 1 pixel. and see how it works. Alright, and one more thing. Alright, let's connect everything and see how animation will work. So connect the first one on click or while hovering. Smart animate is out and 300. The second one while pressing smart animate also 300. And here I will pick I'll pick on click and keep this the default. Then with the last one I'll pick mouse leave. Now let's create a new frame and let's drag our component, and also let's change the frame background color to a black color, and let's go and hit present and let's see, zoom in. Alright, if I hover I have the blur light effect. If I press I have my effect, and click still keep the effect. If I move my mouse we go back to default. Now I'm gonna add, maybe change this a gray. Let's change this something like that. Alright, maybe not, maybe more. And I'm gonna add a border stroke, dark gray. Yes, that's better. To create a contrast, it will detach it from the background, and the glow effect of my drop shadow will look great. Yes, and also I wanna increase the size. Maybe we'll move this to create more space, and this I'll hit the K key and increase the size by 1 dot slightly to create just an effect of, bouncing. Maybe it's a little bit slow here. Let's go and align this. Alright, so you can see it's way better. Alright, that was everything for today's tutorial. I hope you've learned something new, and hopefully I can see you in the next tutorial. I hope this video was helpful, and I created this tutorial using Master UI components. So please visit masterui.co to discover thousands of components to fuel your creative genius. Thanks, and if you have any suggestion for the next tutorial, please feel free to share them by leaving a comment. See you in the next one.